half a dozen years after Valens' death, a handful of Mexican-American bands had national hits. And like Valens, they used names that masked their identity. Few in the television audience knew that the premieres came from the barrios of East LA. Cannibal and the Headhunters, too, lived in the barrio and picked up R&B harmonies from their African-American neighbors.
There was this black group called the Showcases. They would pass in front of my house, and they would sing and harmonize and hang around together. It was a beautiful thing. And I would follow them, and I'd just be in awe, just following them around and just watching them sing and harmonize together. And it was great, man. And they took, those black guys, took this Chicano guy and took him under their wing and showed me how to harmonize, showed us all how to harmonize.
Too many teardrops for one heart to be crying.
Question Mark and the Mysterians had a #1 hit with 96 Tears, sung by Rudy Martinez, the son of migrant field workers in Michigan. Sam the Sham of Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs was actually Domingo Zamudio of Dallas, Texas. And Jose Maria de Leon Hernandez packed dance halls across the Southwest as Little Joe, with his band Little Joe and the Latinaires.
We wanted to be hip and play what was happening at the time, and whatever, the bands dressed like, we wanted to emulate and play the music and dress to look like what was happening then.
But the era of Mexican-American bands downplaying their identity with matching tuxedos and R&B sounds was coming to an end.
That will be a day not of the white man, not of the black man. That will be the day of man as man.
You've got Dr. Martin Luther King marching in the South. You've got Black Pride developing. We're looking at that stuff. And we're seeing that just as our African-American brothers can think about roots and going back to Africa, maybe it's important for us to discover the roots that we never paid any attention to because our parents wanted us to become Americans. So you suddenly see the onset of Mexican and brown pride.
This new sense of ethnic pride inspired Chicano artists to search out their musical roots. Little Joe's journey away from R&B toward more Latin sounds began in the late 1960s, on tour in Northern California.
We checked in about 3, 4 in the morning, and we were tired and sleepy and didn't pay much attention to the surroundings. But next morning, I got up early because I wanted to go get a haircut for the performance that we were gonna have that evening. And I remember walking out of the room, out in the street, and seeing all these long-haired people, like women or guys or what? And all of a sudden, I thought I needed a haircut, and I felt naked, and I said, oh my God, what is this? I didn't cut my hair for quite a while after that, and at some point didn't shave, just fell into that incredible craziness, weirdness that was happening. Great bands like Santana and everything that was happening in the Bay Area just gave me an awareness that I didn't have before, and I wanted to change my music. I wanted to, expand on it.
Little Joe's musical education began in the fields of Central Texas, where Mexican-Americans and African-Americans worked side by side.
Out in the fields, they were picking cotton, a whole row of black people, a whole row of Mexican-Americans. And here you have this guy singing rancheras, and this guy's over here singing the blues, So that was his influences.
My dad, of course, was a laborer, so we all pitched in, we all worked in the fields. I actually dropped out of seventh grade. My dad was in prison at the time, and it was through music that I was able to work out of the circle of poverty.
As a boy, Little Joe would hear a polka-like folk music called conjunto, coming from roadside cantinas and country fiestas. And over the radio broadcast from the ballrooms of San Antonio and Austin, he heard big band music called Orquesta Tejana, the music of the aspiring middle class of Texas Mexicans, or Tejanos.
All these musical experiences just helped me expand on the music that maybe I was born to perform. And I brought that back home to Central Texas. The people were freaked out. I was wearing robes and chains and crosses, and Carlos Santana turned us on to his boot maker in San Francisco, so we had these leather boots, high heels, and marijuana plants on it. People would walk up to me, they didn't know whether to shake my hand or kneel and pray or what, but...
¡Ah! La cumbia de la medianoche.
Mexican-American identity, once hidden, even scorned, was now a source of pride. Thousands of Chicanos united behind common causes, like fighting for better education and ending the war in Vietnam that was killing young Chicano men at a staggering rate.
Mexicans, Mexicanos, Chicanos in particular, were volunteering. Just kind of was that thing of proving themselves as an American, proving themselves that we belong, and the macho thing, and so on. It probably took 40 or 50% with some of our best musicians, you know.
We're protesting against the discriminatory draft laws that give employment to all the Anglo middle class people of this country and make the heaviest burden of the war fall on the Mexicano.
All of a sudden, you had people doing more socially relevant material about the war, about the poverty, about what was happening in East LA, and about pride.
Family's still the #1 institution. Respect for old within the young. Revolution. And I'm never moving out. I'm never moving out of the barrio. I was born in the barrio, in the barrio. I will die.
That's when the names of the groups started to begin to change. Because now, it wasn't like we had to hide now and try and slide through or, you know, or fall through the cracks. We don't have to say, excuse me, I'm sorry anymore.
The Salas brothers changed their band's name from the Jaguars to Tierra, Earth. A band called the VIPs now flaunted their Mexicanness, renaming themselves El Chicano. And Little Joe now called his group Little Joe y la Familia, and was drawn to Chicano causes, especially the farm workers' struggle for decent wages and living conditions, led by Cesar Chavez.
People that aren't farm workers, that don't do farm work, that don't do the stoop labor, will never know or understand what these folks are up against. I grew up doing that. I know, I can relate to that.
Inspired by Cesar Chavez, Little Joe recorded a song called Las Nubes, the Clouds, which became an anthem for the farm workers' movement.
Your hero and mine, Little Joe y la Familia! ¡Órale, Raza! Give it to me!
It's about people feeling oppressed, but with a feeling of hope and tomorrow will be better. You can always aspire for more and keep the struggle. Ya todo se me acabó, no me puedo resistir. Si voy a seguir sufriendo, mejor quisiera morir.
Yo voy vagando en el mundo sin saber a dónde ir. Los años que van pasando no me canso de esperar. Y a veces que estoy cantando mejor quisiera llorar. ¿Para qué seguir sufriendo si nada puedo lograr? Sing it with us. Las nubes que van pasando se paran a lloviznar. Parece que se sostienen cuando a mí me oyen cantar. Good God.
Las Nubes became a landmark in the emerging musical movement known as Tejano. It combined elements of conjunto-style polka and orquesta-style horns with a modern rhythm section of electric guitars, bass, keyboards, and drums.
That's Las Nubes.